Hello and welcome to the game where it's not just about finding the right answer, it's about finding the best answer that counts. We've got 4 contestants ready to play. They are Charlotte, Dylan, Karen and Jay. But only one can make it through to the final and prove themselves unbeatable. Let's play round 1. In this round, the contestants will play individually to try and add as much money as they can to their own personal bank. The best way to do that is to find the unbeatable answer. First up, it's Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. Welcome to the game.
Hello, thank you.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Leeds, but I live in Barnsley.
OK. Now, is a quiz show your sort of thing? Do you watch these in the day?
Every day.
And are you shouting the answers out?
Yeah, well, if I know them, yeah.
Right, well, let's get you started. Let's see if we can win you some money. Here's your first question, bud. Which of these jobs was invented most recently? Switchboard operator, TV cameraman, train driver, watchmaker, Butlins redcoat and architect. Any of those jobs yours?
Nope.
No? What do you do for a living?
I'm a document production technician.
Oh, right. That also sounds like could have been invented recently.
Yeah. They all seem like they'd be really old.
Yeah, well,
So-
I mean, I've met some TV cameramen in my time. And,
Obviously, like, TV cameraman is going to be a lot closer than an architect, I would have thought. But I'm going to go with Butlins redcoat.
Butlins redcoat. OK, let's bring it down to the floor. We're hoping Butlins redcoat is unbeatable. It's worth £1,000 if you're confident enough that it can beat every single answer up there on the board. You've got 3 seconds to press your buzzer, but if you're wrong, you'll go into round 2 with nothing. Your time starts now. Oh, I wasn't sure. It looked like it crossed your eyes at one point that you might press
No, I think your face and everything.
it. Don't read my face. I see these questions and answers at the same time as you. I know as much as you do. So, what we can do is try and win you £100 for every answer Butlins redcoat can beat. So, are there any jobs up there that you think were invented before the Butlins redcoat?
An architect.
Come on down, architect. Let's find out, shall we? Butlins redcoat versus architect. Yeah, very good. Well done. £100 in the bank. Do you think you've got it in you to get another £100?
I think another 100.
Another 100, very specific. OK. What are you thinking?
I'm going to say watchmaker.
Watchmaker.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Watchmaker, come on down. Is Butlins redcoat a job that has been invented more recently than the watchmaker? For £100, let's find out. Yeah, very good. Good work. So, £100 in the bank. What you can do right now is you can pick another one on the board, win yourself another £100, or you can cut your losses and take £200 into round 2.
Can I take £200?
I felt like that was what we were getting at. Fair enough, Charlotte. £200 in the bank. Now, there's a chance you could have had the unbeatable answer all along. It could have been worth £1,000. Let's find out. Here is how they stack up. You had the best answer on the board, Charlotte.
No.
How do you feel about that now you've seen it?
I'm blaming you.
Me? What's it to do with me?
Is it with the look when I picked it?
There's no looks on my face, I'm telling you. I'm just thinking about lunch. OK, Butlins redcoat was 1936.
Oh, right, OK.
TV cameraman was 1932. Switchboard operator was 1878. Train driver, 1825. 17th century for watchmaker. And ancient times is architect. That's all we have. So there you go. Take your £200. We'll see you in the next round.
Thank you.
Take care. Let's meet our next player. It's Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
You all right?
I'm well. Where are you from?
Newcastle.
And you're studying in the North East, aren't you?
Yeah, at the University of Sunderland, yeah.
And what are you studying there?
Sports journalism.
So you are hoping for some sports questions today?
Brilliant.
Is that the one that you want, yeah? OK. Well, you seem pretty relaxed about this show so far, considering you're on national TV.
I'm composed.
All right. All right, Dylan. Let's see how relaxed you are when you see your first question. Let's get it up. Which of these 6 royals is highest up in the line of succession to the throne? The Princess Royal, Zara Tindall, Earl of Wessex, Savannah Phillips, Viscount Severn, and Princess Beatrice. All right, what do you think? Do you recognise any of those names up there?
I recognise the Princess Royal and Princess Beatrice, and that's about it, to be fair.
OK. Well, look, we're trying to find the unbeatable answer. It's worth £1,000. But if you're not sure and you can't find it, you just need an answer that can beat some other answers. And like Charlotte, you can win a couple £100.
Okay. Go with Princess Beatrice.
All right, come on down. I'm going to give you a chance to press your unbeatable button if suddenly you get a wave of confidence and you think that Princess Beatrice is unbeatable. It's worth £1,000 and your time starts now. No, fair enough, OK. Are there any answers up there that you think Princess Beatrice can beat? We're looking for the highest up in the line of succession to the throne.
Zara Tindall, it's giving us something about it.
Should we try her? Come on, then. Come on down, Zara. Zara Tindall, for £100. Is Princess Beatrice higher up in the line of succession for the throne? Let's find out. Yes, there you go, £100. What's your main sport that you play?
Football.
Football?
Yeah.
Is that how you celebrate a goal? Just a little nod?
Just a casual thing.
Just a casual nod, yeah? No shirt over the head if you get this next one. So, we can either stick with £100 and take that through to the next round, or you can try and double it with another name up there that Princess Beatrice can beat.
You know, I might just stick with it, you know.
You're going to stick with 100?
I might stick with 100, yeah.
OK, well, look, you've got £100. You're going to take that through to the next round.
Right.
But let's find out if, like Charlotte, you had the unbeatable answer all along, and Dylan, you absolutely did. It was worth £1,000.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Princess Beatrice is 9th in line to the throne, through to Zara Tindall, 19th, which, I mean, I'm 14th, so that's... she's got no chance. Dylan, you've still got yourself £100, so we'll see you in the next round.
No worries.
Well done, pal. Let's meet our next player. It's Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hello.
Where are you from?
Winchester.
Who's at home watching you right now, willing you on?
My lovely husband, Matthew, and my 2 teenage boys, Jack and William. They're probably very embarrassed.
No,
by me
I'm
doing
sure
one.
they're not. Not yet, anyway. You've got more than enough time to embarrass yourself, Karen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm confident. I'm confident in you. Is there anything in your work life or in your hobbies or interests that you think can help you in a quiz environment?
I've been accused of being a granny, sitting under a blanket, watching quizzes.
Hey,
by
there's
my
nothing wrong
children.
with that. Hello to all the grannies at home, sat under a
Sorry,
blanket
grannies,
watching
yeah.
the show. Including my own. Hello. OK, Karen. Well, let's get your first question board up and make sure your children are not embarrassed. Which of these places in the UK is located furthest north? Nottingham, Blackpool, Liverpool, York, Aldershot, Birmingham.
OK, geography is not my strong point.
OK.
But I know it's not Aldershot because that's in Hampshire. I'm going to go for Liverpool.
Liverpool. OK, let's bring Liverpool down to the floor. If you're confident that it's Liverpool, you've got an unbeatable button in front of you. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to press it. It's worth £1,000 if you're right. Your time starts now. No.
No.
OK. It's worth £100 for every answer on the board that Liverpool can beat. It doesn't need to be unbeatable. It just needs to be able to beat some of these. What do you think you can definitely beat?
Aldershot.
Well, you know where that is. So come on down Aldershot. This should be an easy £100. Is Liverpool located further north than Aldershot? Yeah, of course it is. So, £100, nice and easy. Do you want to carry on? Do you think there's some other money you can win, or do you want to take that £100 into the next round?
I don't know, but I'm going to go for Birmingham.
Let's bring Birmingham down. Is Liverpool further north than Birmingham? It's worth £100. Let's find out. Yeah, there we go. Well done. OK. Karen, what do you reckon? Can Liverpool beat any of these places for furthest north?
I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go for York.
All right, come on down, York. Is Liverpool further north than York? It's worth £300. If it's wrong and York is further north, you'll be going to the next round with 0. Let's find out. Oh, it is further north.
Oh, it's worth the risk.
Lucky. Well, I mean, it wasn't, but you've gone for it anyway. Look,
Take it,
Karen,
Rick.
it's fine. You've only insulted half of the country and we're
Yeah.
fine with it, OK? As Mayor of the North, I forgive you. Karen, let's have a little look at how the answers stack up. You actually had the third answer on the board. A bit further up the coast was Blackpool, and over in North Yorkshire, York was Unbeatable. Aldershot, the one you were confident with, was in 6th place. So you go into the next round with nothing, but we've seen people make the final with 0 in the first round, so don't you worry about that. We'll see you shortly. So let's quickly meet our final player. It's Jay.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Jay. Retired police inspector.
Yes.
So you've weighed up these suspects here. You're used to being able to tell what people are really like.
I am, yes. And I've made them a bit nervous.
Oh, I see. You've actually sort of
Psyched
knocked
them out.
You've been psyching them out. I love it. All day, Jay's been playing the game as soon as he arrived. OK, Jay, let's get our first question board up. Of these 6 actors, who played Sherlock Holmes on screen first? Wow, from one inspector to another. Ian McKellen, Henry Cavill, Robert Downey Jr., Benedict Cumberbatch, Will Ferrell, Johnny Lee Miller.
Wow. I know a couple of them played recently. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a pure guess, but I think I'm going to go with Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen, come down to the floor. This is your chance now. To bag £1,000 to go into the next round in the lead, you've got 3 seconds to decide whether or not Ian McKellen is unbeatable. Your time starts now.
Yeah. Go for it. I'm going to go for it.
Why not? So, we are hoping that Ian McKellen played Sherlock Holmes before the rest of these chaps. Let's start with Henry Cavill. Did Ian McKellen play Sherlock Holmes before Henry Cavill? Let's find out.
I hope so.
Yes, well done. OK, let's bring down Will Ferrell. Let's see if Ian McKellen played Sherlock Holmes before Will Ferrell. Yes.
Yes.
That is a strong celebration there. OK, next one to come down is Johnny Lee Miller. OK, let's find out if you can remain unbeatable. Ian McKellen versus Johnny Lee Miller. Let's find out. Oh! Jay, what a shame. So, unfortunately, you go into the next round with 0. Let's see how they stack up and see where your answer falls. It was actually the 4th answer.
Wow.
So, Robert Downey Jr. played it first in 2009. Benedict Cumberbatch was 2010. Johnny Lee Miller, the one you were unsure about, was 2012. Ian McKellen, your answer was 2015. Will Ferrell was 2018. And Henry Cavill, most recently, in 2020. What a shame. But you went for it, and that was exciting to see, even though you've ended up with nothing. Jay, we'll see you in the next round anyway.
Thank you.
All right. So that's the end of round 1. Let's take a look at the money. So in last place at the moment is Jay and Karen with 0. Cool as a cucumber Dylan is in second with £100, but romping ahead so far. £200 to take her into the second round. It's Charlotte. Now it's time for round 2. In this round, the players will go head-to-head. Now, Charlotte, you didn't press your unbeatable button, but so far you are in the lead. So you actually get to pick which one of these 3 you go up against in round 2.
I'm going to pick Dylan because he's so calm. I think he'll calm me, and therefore I'll do better.
Oh, OK, you think so?
That's the most politest way I've been called not smart ever.
Well, look, it's time for Charlotte versus Dylan. Let battle commence. OK, this is where it gets serious for Charlotte and Dylan, because now it's a game of survival. The first to win 2 question boards will send their opponent packing with nothing, and you'll get the same question boards and take it in turns to choose an answer. Just as before, we want you to pick the unbeatable answer, but if you're not sure, just pick an answer that you think can beat your opponents. So, who will come out victorious? Let's find out with our first question board. Of these 6 settings, which is the least commonly booked as a wedding ceremony venue in the UK? Barn, castle, city hotel venue, registry office, town hall, garden outdoor, warehouse. This is according to the UK Wedding Report 2020. Charlotte, you have banked the most money so far, so you get to choose first.
I am going to say castle.
You think castle?
Yeah.
OK, let's bring castle down to the floor. Dylan, been to many weddings?
I've been to a fair share.
Okay.
A fair share, to be fair. Have not been to a warehouse, though, so...
Warehouse wedding, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
OK, let's bring warehouse down. You've both chosen an answer. Do either of you think you've got the unbeatable answer? Because if you do, and you press your unbeatable button, you could win £1,000, but be careful, because if you press the button and you're wrong, you'll end up handing £100 over to your opponent, but more importantly, giving them the board. 3 seconds to decide whether what you've got is unbeatable. Nobody's saying I do on that occasion. Let's go head to head. The first to 2 battles will take the board, and you'll be 1 step closer to playing Jay or Karen in the next round. So £100 for every battle you win. Castle versus warehouse. Let's find out which was booked the least. Oh, it was warehouse. Dylan, you got the first choice now. We're looking for the least popular venue.
You know what, go with barn.
We're going to go barn. OK, let's bring barn down. OK, Charlotte.
I'm going to have to go with garden outdoor just because I think the other 2 were really popular.
Let's bring garden outdoor down. Dylan, if it is barn, you'll win the first board and be halfway to the next round. Charlotte, you need this to be garden outdoor to draw level. Let's find out. Oh, she calls it back. Charlotte, your turn to pick. We've got city hotel venue or registry office town hall. You think both of them are quite popular?
Yeah.
But we're looking for the least popular.
Registry office and town hall.
Registry office town hall.
Yeah.
There we go. Dylan, that means you end up with city hotel venue.
Yeah.
Which of these was the least commonly booked? This is for the first board. Let's find out. Oh, it was. Good call, Charlotte. 1 board to 0, which means, Dylan, you've got to win these next 2 question boards to stay in the game. So let's have a little look which one was unbeatable. It was warehouse, which is what you had. But unfortunately, you did not press that unbeatable button. It had guaranteed you the board and £1,000. Dylan, that's twice now that you've had the unbeatable answer and not pressed it.
Not going with my instincts.
Let's get our next question board.
Right.
Of these 6 items, which is least likely to be put into a 16-year-old's school lunchbox? Fresh fruit, crisps, sandwich, popcorn, smoothie, cereal bar. This is according to a poll conducted by Ipsos. Now, Dylan, you're probably, no offence, but you're the youngest here. You're the closest to 16. Probably the last one to have had a school lunchbox.
I'm going to say...
We're looking for least likely.
Popcorn.
Let's bring popcorn down. What do you think, Charlotte?
I'm trying to think of the one that I would have least wanted in my lunchbox, and that's smoothie. So I'm going to go with smoothie. Yeah.
Let's bring smoothie down. So, smoothie versus popcorn. Now, if either of you think you've got the unbeatable answer, you've got that button in front of you, you know it's worth £1,000, but if Charlotte, you press it and you win, you'll be going through to the next round. Dylan, you'll be pulling level, but if you're wrong, you'll be sending Charlotte through. 3 seconds to decide, starting now. Charlotte's gone for it. Right, let's find out if smoothie is the unbeatable answer. If it is, it's worth £1,000, but more importantly, it's worth that place in the next round. So we're looking for least likely in a school packed lunchbox. Let's start with most popular, sandwich. That seems to make sense. I think we can get rid of sandwich. Yeah, of course it is. OK, next up, fresh fruit. Oh, good. Let's find out, smoothie versus fresh fruit. Yeah, OK. Now it starts to get a little bit more difficult. Crisps Smoothie versus crisps. We're looking for least likely in a school packed lunchbox for a 16-year-old. Let's find out. Yeah, still remaining unbeatable, Charlotte. Cereal bars next.
Oh.
Smoothie versus cereal bar. Let's find out. So, one of you has got the unbeatable answer. Let's bring popcorn down to the floor. Should Dylan have pressed his unbeatable button, it's worth £1,000 to Charlotte if she's right, and you'll be sending Dylan home. Which is least likely to be put into a 16-year-old's lunchbox? Smoothie versus popcorn. It's all on this. Dylan has pulled it level with popcorn. 1-1, Charlotte.
He's getting me back now, isn't he?
He really is, isn't he? Here's how they stack up. Popcorn was right at the top, and sandwich, of course, the most popular. OK, Dylan, one more board to win it.
Yeah.
Same for you, Charlotte. Let's find out what our question is. Which of these 6 authors has written the most novels? John le Carré, Dan Brown, Nick Hornby, J.K. Rowling, Harper Lee, E.L. James. So, Charlotte.
Well, Harper Lee's my favourite author, but I think I'm gonna go for J.K. Rowling.
Let's bring J.K. Rowling down. What do you think, Dylan?
Gonna go for John le Carré.
John le Carré. Do either of you think you've got the unbeatable answer? Because if you do, and you press your unbeatable button, it's worth £1,000 and a place in the next round if you're right. But if not, you're going home and you've given the victory to your rival. 3 seconds starting now. OK, neither of you were up for pressing your button on that occasion, so we're now going to battle it out one at a time. We've got your first choices, J.K. Rowling versus John le Carré. If you win 2 of these, you will win the board and you'll be going through to the next round. We're looking for the author who has written the most novels. Oh, first blood goes to Dylan. £100 enters your bank. And Dylan, you've got a slight advantage here because you get to pick first. Now, you've got Dan Brown, Nick Hornby, Harper Lee, and E.L. James. We're looking for the author who has written the most novels.
Someone's telling us Dan Brown, so...
OK, let's bring Dan Brown down. What about you, Charlotte?
I've never actually heard of him, so I'm gonna go for Nick Hornby.
That's the spirit. Let's bring Nick Hornby down. Sorry, Nick, if you're watching. Charlotte, you need it to be Nick Hornby to stay around. Otherwise, Dylan is going through. It's all on this. Let's find out. Oh, there it is. 1-1. Another £100, but that's not what's important right now. What's important is that it's all on these 2. And Charlotte, you get first dibs. Who do you think has written more novels?
I'm gonna go for E.L. James.
OK. That means, Dylan, you've ended up with Harper Lee. Not the one you would have picked?
No.
No. Whoever wins this is going through to the next round to play either Karen or Jay. Let's find out. Oh, it was E.L. James.
Sorry, Dylan.
So, Dylan, you were absolutely cool as a cucumber all the way through. But what I really want to know is if either of you had the unbeatable answer at any point. Let's find out.
I've had it 3 times.
Dylan, you've had an absolute shocker there.
Don't want to look at it. Don't want to look at it.
What's it going to be like when you get back to uni?
Don't want to think about it.
John le Carré was the unbeatable answer, 23 novels. J.K. Rowling with 13, and Harper Lee, just the 2 classics. So, Charlotte, well done. You've managed to get through to the next round. You picked right in the end. You went up against Dylan, and you've sent him home with his tail between his legs
Dylan.
there. I know. She says sorry. Is she, though? Dylan, thanks so much for joining in.
That's fine.
Take care. Good luck with your studies. Take care. So, Charlotte takes £600 into the next round, but who will she face? It's time for Karen versus Jay. OK, Jay, Karen, this is where you go head-to-head to see who's going to play Charlotte in the next round. Same as before, 2 boards you need to win to get through. It's time for Karen versus Jay. Here is your first question board. Of these 6 dog breeds, which was most commonly registered in the UK in 2019? Border Terrier, Pug, Boxer, Whippet, English Springer Spaniel, Rottweiler. This is according to the Kennel Club. Karen, you get to choose first.
I'm more of a cat person.
OK. What about when you've been walking around? How many dogs have you seen?
I'm going to go for Border Terrier.
OK, let's bring Border Terrier down. What about you, Jay?
Right, I'm not an animal person at all.
No, not in charge of the police dog division then at any point,
no. But having looked at the options, I think we'll go for Boxer.
OK, let's find out. Boxer. Boxer versus Border Terrier. You've chosen your answers. Are either of you confident enough to press the unbeatable button? It's worth £1,000, but more importantly, it's worth the first board. So let's find out. You've got 3 seconds to decide. Didn't even move, did you? No chance. Look, we've seen it happen already, so we will battle it out one answer at a time. We've got your answers already, so which is the most commonly registered in the UK in 2019? Let's find out. It was Border Terrier. Well done, £100. And first battle to you, Karen. OK, Jay, you get first dibs on this next one now. We've got Pug, Whippet, English Springer Spaniel and Rottweiler.
I think I'll go for the Whippet.
All right, let's bring the Whippet down. What about you, Karen?
Just because my son's always wanted one, I'm going to go for Pug.
OK, let's bring Pug down. If it's Pug, you'll get the first board, Karen. You'll be halfway to the next round. Jay, you need this one to draw level. Let's find out. Pug versus Whippet. It was Pug. Well done. And that's another £100, but more importantly, the first board goes to you. Let's see how the answers stack up. English Springer Spaniel was most common. Pug was the second answer. Border Terrier was the third, so you did all right, second and third. Boxer was fourth, Whippet fifth, and Rottweiler in sixth place. So, Karen, you've taken the first board. Jay, you need to win these two to get through to the next round. OK, here's your next question board. Which of these historical figures reached the oldest age? Napoleon Bonaparte, Alexander the Great, Nelson Mandela, Winston Churchill, Mozart, Mahatma Gandhi. What do you think, Jay? You're a history buff?
It's not my strongest subject, but I think I'll go for Nelson Mandela.
Right, come on down, Nelson Mandela. What about you, Karen?
I'm going to go for Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi. The battle of the pacifists. Mahatma Gandhi versus Nelson Mandela. Do either of you have the unbeatable answer? It's worth £1,000 if you do, and you press that button, but if not, you'll be handing the board over to your rival. You've got 3 seconds to decide.
I'll go for it.
You're going for it, Jay.
For it.
That's like spirits. We love a bit of that on this show. If what you've picked is the unbeatable answer, you'll draw level, but if not, you've just sent Karen through to the next round. Let's start with Alexander the Great. Let's find out if Nelson Mandela lived to an older age than Alexander the Great. Yes, he did. Well done. Nelson Mandela wins that one. 32. Alexander the Great lived to. Next is Mozart. Bring that down. He had grey hair, but was it a wig? I don't know. I think it was. Let's find out if Nelson Mandela beats Mozart. Does. 35 Mozart was. Next, it's Napoleon Bonaparte. Quite a dangerous life he had, didn't he? So, let's find out. Yes. 51. So next we have Karen's choice, Mahatma Gandhi, who lived to the ripest of ages. Let's find out. It is still Nelson Mandela. So Mahatma Gandhi was 78. OK, so let's bring Winston Churchill down.
Don't let me down.
Let's find out who lived to the oldest age. If it's Mandela, Jay, you've clawed one back and you've drawn level with Karen. If not, you're sending Karen through. Let's find out. It was Nelson Mandela. Well done, you were right to press that button. It's worth £1,000, but it's kept you in the game, and we're down to a final board to make the decision. Let's see how the answers stack up. So we had Nelson Mandela as our unbeatable answer. He was 95. Winston Churchill was 90, right through to Alexander the Great at 32. So, Jay, you've managed to draw it level. You've bagged yourself £1,000, and you are at one board each, which means our third question board is the decider. Which of these 6 cities is closest to the South Pole? What is it with these questions, Karen? They're really following you around. Johannesburg, Moscow, London, Buenos Aires, Hong Kong, and Sydney. So, Karen, you get to choose first. So, closest to the South Pole.
I really don't know. I'm going to go for Hong Kong.
Let's bring Hong Kong down. What about you, Jay? Closest to the South Pole. Can you beat Hong Kong?
I think I'm going to go for Sydney.
Let's bring Sydney down. You've both chosen an answer. You press that unbeatable button. You either win the grand and see yourself into the next round, or send yourself packing. Let's find out. No risk takers that time. We're going to battle it out. We've got your first choices, Hong Kong versus Sydney. It's worth £100, but it's also worth the first of 2 battles that will win you the board. Let's find out. Furthest to the South Pole. Sydney wins it. Good work. So, £100 in the bank and the first battle. Karen, you need to win these 2 to stay in the game. Jay, you get first choice. Johannesburg, Moscow, London, Buenos Aires.
Wow. I think I'm going to go for London. Yeah.
OK, London, come on down. Karen, what do you think? Can you see any of those that might beat London?
I'm going to go for Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires. This is it. This will keep you in it, Karen, or Jay will put you through to the next round to face Charlotte. Buenos Aires versus London. Let's find out. It is Buenos Aires. Well done. And that draws you level, bags you another £100. And now, Karen, you get first pick. Johannesburg versus Moscow. But which one of them is closest to the South Pole?
I'm going to go for Johannesburg.
Come on down, Johannesburg, which means, Jay, that means you end up with Moscow.
There we go.
This is for a place in the next round. This wins you the final board and a chance to take home some money. Otherwise, you're going home. Johannesburg versus Moscow. Which is closest to the South Pole? It is Johannesburg. Well done, Karen. You've surprised yourself there.
That's unbelievable.
Let's see how the answers stacked up before we go. Buenos Aires was the unbeatable answer. Moscow was the furthest away. So I'm afraid we've got to say goodbye to you, Jay. Thanks for your service in the police force and enjoy your retirement.
Thank you.
All the best, Jay. Well played, Karen. You are through to the next round with your £400 in the bank. It's time for round 3. Whoever wins will play for their bank in today's final. It's Charlotte versus Karen. It's all smiles at the moment, but here is how this next round works. You guys are going to take it in turns to choose an answer. The first player to find the unbeatable answer wins the board, and the sooner you find it, the more money you will bank. The first to win 2 boards wins the game. And here is your first question board. Which of these mountains is the tallest? Matterhorn, Kilimanjaro, Ben Nevis, Popocatépetl, Fuji, and Mont Blanc. Charlotte, you've banked the most money so far, so you get first pick.
I'm just going to go for Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Come on down. If it's unbeatable, it's worth £1,000 and the first board. Let's see if it is. It is! Well done! Congratulations! Phew! Let's have a little look at how they stack up. So Kilimanjaro was top right through to little Ben Nevis in 6th place. So 1 board to you. Karen, you need to win these next 2 question boards to get through to the final. Here's your next question. Of these 6 people, who has appeared on the cover of American Vogue magazine most often since January 2005? Michelle Obama, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Rihanna, Reese Witherspoon, Adele, Lupita Nyong'o. Do you subscribe to Vogue magazine, Karen? No.
I'm going to go with Rihanna.
OK, let's bring Rihanna down. If Rihanna is unbeatable, you will win £1,000 and the board. If not, you'll hand control back over to Charlotte. Let's find out. Is Rihanna unbeatable? Yes! Amazing! That was impressive stuff. Let's have a little look at how they stack up. Rihanna has been on the cover 6 times, through to Phoebe Waller-Bridge just the once. Still one more than me. You've banked £1,000, Karen. You've drawn level, and it's all to play for. This next board is what it's all about. So let's find out who's going through to the final. Here's our question. Which of these creatures became extinct most recently? Japanese sea lion, mammoth, Tasmanian tiger, dodo, diplodocus, or the great auk? Charlotte, what do you think?
I've never even heard of a great auk. I've never heard of a Tasmanian tiger either. I'm just going to go for a great auk.
Let's go for the great auk. Let's bring the great auk down. Let's see. Is the great auk unbeatable? Let's find out. No. It was actually 3rd on the board. So that gives Karen a chance here for £800, Karen, and a place in the final. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go Tasmanian tiger.
Tasmanian tiger, come on down. So, £800 into your bank, but more importantly, a chance to win it. This would put you into the final. Tasmanian tiger, is it unbeatable? Let's find out. It's not unbeatable. But I can tell you, it was the 2nd answer on the board. So the unbeatable answer is still up there. Charlotte.
Oh, no.
What are you thinking?
I'm just going to go for dodo.
The dodo.
Yeah.
Come on down. £600, a place in the final to win it. Is the dodo unbeatable? Let's find out. It's not. It's the 4th answer on the list. Has Charlotte handed it over to Karen? You've got another chance to win this. What are you thinking, Karen? 3 left.
I'm going to go mammoth.
OK, mammoth, come on down. It's worth £400. It's going down to the wire here. You keep missing that unbeatable answer, but is this it? If it is, you're going through to the final. Is mammoth unbeatable? No. It's actually the 5th answer on the board. Charlotte, 2 left. Japanese sea lion versus diplodocus. One of these will take you through to the final. What do you reckon?
I like a sea lion. I'm just going to go for a
Yes,
Japanese
okay.
sea lion.
Let's go Japanese sea lion. OK, Charlotte, you've gone with Japanese sea lion. Let's bring diplodocus down. One of these answers is unbeatable. If it's your answer, you'll be going through to the final to win the money. If not, you'll be sending Karen through. Let's find out which one became extinct more recently. Is it a Japanese sea lion or a dinosaur? Yes, of course, it's the Japanese sea lion. 2-1 on the board, another £200 to take into the final. Let's have a look how they stacked up. So the Japanese sea lion there, most recently extinct, 1950s, through to the diplodocus, an actual dinosaur in 6th place. Karen, thanks so much for joining us today. You've been a great competitor.
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, it's really good. Thanks.
All right, safe journey home. Thank you. Charlotte, it's all down to you now. £1,800, and you're through to today's final. So this is the final, and the pressure is on Charlotte. You're through to the final with £1,800, which is a great amount of money. You could go away with half of it, you could go away with all of it, but you could double it, depending on how it goes in this next round. And your destiny is in your hands, because what we have is one answer board and 2 different questions that you get to choose. Let's have a little look at the 6 answers. Emma Stone, Sandra Bullock, Susan Sarandon, Amy Adams, Florence Pugh, and Julia Roberts. So the 6 answers are going to remain the same, but it's the 2 questions that you can choose from. Let's get our first one up. Of these 6 people, who has been awarded the most Oscar nominations? Then we have a second question. Which of these people have appeared in the most feature films? What's you thinking?
I think I might go for the Oscars one.
So let's get rid of this one, the feature films. We've got our question. We've got our 6 answers. So let's play the final. As always, throughout the show, you're trying to pick that unbeatable answer. So you've had time to think about it now. What answer up there is going to win it for you?
Sandra Bullock seems to have done a lot of films that have been really big, but are they necessarily Oscar nomination worthy?
Yeah. And it's not Oscar wins, it's Oscar nominations.
I think Florence Pugh is relatively recent. I didn't know she'd had any. I'm really stuck between Amy Adams and Sandra Bullock.
OK.
Because Amy Adams, she's been around less time, but she's been in some really good big films.
OK.
I'm going to go for Sandra Bullock. She was my gut instinct, so I'm going to say Sandra Bullock.
So you're going to go with Sandra Bullock. OK, let's bring Sandra down to the floor. We want Sandra to be unbeatable, but we only need her to beat 2 other answers to win half your pot. Which of these actors are you going to put Sandra Bullock against?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. So let's bring Florence Pugh down. And we need Sandra Bullock to have had more Oscar nominations than Florence Pugh. Let's find out. OK, there we go.
I'm down.
1 down. We need another one to win half your money. Who is Sandra going to take on next?
Emma Stone.
Let's bring Emma down. OK, Charlotte. For £900, we need this to go red. We need it to be Sandra Bullock. Best of luck. Oh, what a shame. Emma Stone had more nominations than Sandra Bullock. Let's have a little look at how they line up. I think you're going to kick yourself.
Down. I said Amy Adams
Amy
as well.
Adams, and you said it. She's been in some cracking films, and that means she's had more Oscar nominations than the other. 6 for Amy, Susan's had 5, Julia's had 4, Emma 3, Sandra, your guess was 2, and Florence just the 1. I'm so sorry, Charlotte.
Oh, no.
It's been lovely having you. You've been a brilliant player.
Oh, thank you.
Have you had a good day?
Oh, yeah, it's been amazing.
Good. That's all for today. Join us next time on Unbeatable.